Morning everybody, how are you today? What a beautiful day, eh? It's supposed to be a scorcher today. I tell you what, it's certainly warm, or it's close if that's the word. So what does close mean? Probably you just feel the moisture in the air, if that makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. It is quite hot, hence the reason why I've got my t-shirt on. Jeez, the peeps. But the sounds are really nice in here. I could see a few squirrels, bunny rabbits here. And the location, I'll zoom in for you. Let you see what's going on. Look. Bunny rabbits. Squirrels. Down at the bottom. See them? And these squirrels. I've got peanuts and birdseed for them today. So I'll hand all that out when I'm there. And sort it out but as I sit down just now, they'll come along later on. Once I've settled down. Once I've settled in the seat. Okay. What a wonderful day. Absolutely fantastic day. Morning Louise, how are you? Morning Anne-Marie, morning Alana. Okay, so yesterday we spoke about part 1 of the 13 ways the busiest people ever avoid burnout. And we'll just recap what we spoke about. I mean, sure, you love your job. After all, you wouldn't be doing it, would you? After years of email upon email, never-ending meetings, even the best us can face burnout. To find out how they successfully people combat, even avoid this phenomenon, I asked, well, the Young Entrepreneur Council were asked 13 startup founders and what their strategies that they rely on. And here's what they had to say, and we'll recap that. You know, hi Mary. Hi Andrea, how are you? So the first one is taking a vacation, fully unplug, and it's all in yesterday's vlog. Forget balance, find harmony. That's a really important one. It's not about life balance, it's about life harmony. Know your breaking point, fill your day with joy, and schedule free time. I spoke about that. Making sure you stick to it. Easier said than done, says the guy that avoided his holidays because he wanted to work. So, number 6. Travel and change your environment. Travelling is the best way to avoid burnout. Take your laptop and spend 1 or 2 months working from somewhere else. Preferably internationally. With the internet and clouds like cloud tools like Dropbox, Skype, there's everything. There's very little that can't be done from abroad. I've done it myself. I mean, I've sold houses when I've been sitting in Spain. I've even sold a house when I was on Everest, going up to base camp and negotiated a deal. You get a better signal up on Everest, by the way, than you do actually here. That's ironic. The change in environment really sparks your creativity and allows you to bring in new energy into your work. So Lane Campbell of Sintress actually says, pursue your passion. Start a business is a time-consuming endeavour that doesn't end once things take off. On the contrary, the more successful they are, the more time will be asked of you to contribute towards your enterprise. It's basically like having a baby. Know that, I'll know that. But you nurture your business from the very start and from the very beginning. You look after it and you feed it and you do everything possible to let it grow and expand. And effectively that's what happens. You know, that's what starting a business is like. So you always have to, what I say, feed the baby. Make sure it's looked after. That's why it's important to focus your time and energy on doing something that you enjoy and you're passionate about. Because it can be draining over a period of time. Morning, Joanna. So Jonathan Swerdwin of FibGab. Take a nap. I've often done this. Naps aren't just for children. Instead of having a second cup of coffee, sleep for 20 minutes. It's the best way to refresh your brain. Actually, I once heard that it's quite a normal process to just let yourself sleep during the day. If you feel tired, just go to sleep for 20 minutes. Power naps. And just wake up again, you're rejuvenated, you're ready to go, and ready and wired and fired. That's the best way to do it. So Andrew Vest of Prefling, he says, work out. When I feel so mentally burned out after juggling multiple projects, there's only one thing that can recharge my brain and my enthusiasm, and that's working out. It's a way to unplug and just focus on the task in front of me, whether I go for a long run or a 4-hour bike ride around my city. When I'm done, I have a high and powerful, and all that stress from my day-to-day activities is gone. That's a really important one. I used to think, this is mental. If you're completely drained after working at work, why on earth would you want to go for a workout? Because is that not just draining as well? But you'd be surprised how much of a difference that actually makes to the way you work and the way you feel and the way you are up here. Just by going out and doing something like the bike ride, like this. Just listening to all these sounds and the peace and quiet right round about you and engaging with that. And walk along the beach. You know, it is exhilarating. It does take your mind off things. It makes you feel a lot better. So I used to think, you know, why on earth would you want to go and work out? But the reality is, it's really good for you. Exercise. I would thoroughly recommend it. So Andrew Thomas of Sky Biotechnologies, he says, live with mindfulness. So personally, well, I find the best way to avoid burnout is to have an ongoing focus on mindfulness, rather than only when the breaks are on vacations and breaks. Find ways to detach during the week in a way that works for you. Yoga and exercise work for some, while meditation works for others. Be mindful of those moments. Try to take consistent mini breaks throughout the week to detach and recenter yourself. I absolutely 100% agree with that. It's just that wee difference. So the first thing I do this morning, I've been putting a wee bit of time in this weekend. I've been working with one of the biggest book publishers in the world and spending the whole weekend talking to them and learning and focusing and working out. Yes, I will probably write a book at some point. Well, I will write a book actually. I've got about 4 or 5 books. So I've been working with them. So the first break I take just now is I go for a coffee with my friend for about an hour and a half every Monday morning, and it's that wee break. It just makes that fundamental difference rather than actually going straight into the thicket on Monday morning. So mindfulness, that's probably one of the most important things. And find a hobby. The best way to avoid burnout is to find a hobby you can deeply immerse yourself in for a few hours a week. He plays with an ultimate frisbee, and when I'm not in the field, he says, I'm definitely not thinking about my company. Hobbies such as basketball, ceramics and climbing can provide therapeutic release, and you can come to work recharged and ready for every day. And that's Bhavin Parakar of Magoosh Inc. So find a hobby, do something different. Do something that you really enjoy outside of what the normal day-to-day activity is, and it makes a fundamental difference. Spoke to Mary Bradford in here yesterday, the Mary Bradford Singers, and for her, that's what she enjoys. That's her passion, that's what drives her forward. And I think that's what everybody should do to a degree. Find your hobby, find what you love best. And that's it for today, and I'll see you tomorrow at 7:30.